guys, it's Lindsay and little Miss Sagey here. This is a highly requested video. I'm excited to do it because I love talking about this kind of stuff and helping out other moms, but I'm gonna do a little postpartum Q&A. A lot of you guys, I actually asked you to send in any questions that you have, whether it's about recovery, baby products, mom products, and I mean, I'm obviously still figuring this out. I'm not even trying to pretend like I'm a baby expert because I am not. I'm figuring this out as I go. But I have figured out a couple things that have worked for me, that I've enjoyed, and that I feel like are beneficial, so I'm gonna share those with you today. So let's get right into it. Alrighty, so like I said, on my Instagram story I said please send in any questions, and I got a ton of questions, so I'm going to try to get to as many as I can, but we'll see also how long Sagey lasts. She just ate, so she'll probably just fall asleep, but we'll see. Okay, so first things first. So I got a lot of questions about how I am feeling postpartum. So I am just shy of 7 weeks out of having a C-section, delivering Sage, and I can honestly say that I am feeling very good. I say that because I'm super happy. I feel like I'm kind of figuring things out a little bit. We have a little bit of a routine, but that being said, I'm exhausted. We are not really on a perfect sleep schedule, which is expected for a little newborn, huh, baby girl? Huh, she's still figuring out her days and her nights. She doesn't really know the difference between them yet. So I am exhausted, and there are little things that are just like, they're hard, you know? But overall, I am feeling good, and I'm super grateful that I feel like my recovery has gone pretty well, and I'm feeling happy, and I feel like emotional-wise, I still have crying episodes where I'm just like, I love her so much. Like, that's been the craziest thing for me, is like, my emotions are just out of whack. I go from like 0 to 100 super fast, but I am recognizing that that is a thing. So when it happens, I can kind of just like calm myself and be like, it's gonna be okay, this is gonna pass, I'll stop crying soon. But it's funny because I'm not crying because of sadness. I genuinely, like, I'll look at Sage and just start crying and be like, I love her so much. It's like this overwhelming love feeling that gets me to cry. Are you okay? Yeah. Basically, I just love her so much, and that's what gets me emotional, which I'm so fine with. It's like an overall feeling of love, and then I just start crying, and then Sam's like, it's okay, I love her too, she's the best baby ever, and then I slowly come back to normal. But yes, so I'm feeling good, and I got so many questions asking how I'm feeling, so I appreciate you guys even caring. It's very kind of you. Okay. This was a great question. So must-have baby/mama products, what did you not need? So this is a good question because I feel like there's a lot of things that like you don't expect that you need, and a lot of things that you think you need that you don't. So I also think every baby is different, but I bought more newborn clothes than I think I needed. So obviously you have your 0 to 3 month size, but I was thinking like, oh, my baby, like I'm gonna have a lot of, I guess I expected her to be smaller than she was, but she was 7 pounds 10 ounces, so she only fit into her newborn clothes for a couple weeks, and that's, no, maybe not even a couple weeks, like probably 2 weeks, and then I'm like moving on to 0 to 3 months. So obviously if we have another girl, like those clothes will be put to use, but for now it's like, oh my gosh, I did not need that many newborn clothes. Also, as far as clothing goes, you're gonna get a ton of, I got a lot of stuff from my baby shower, and I appreciated, like, so many people were so smart in my baby shower. They didn't just all give me 0 to 3 months, but make sure that you have like a decent chunk for each age group, because I feel like it's really easy to just buy a ton of clothes for what they're gonna be able to wear right away, but they grow so stinking fast, and it's crazy. Sage is already popping out of most of her 0 to 3 months, which is crazy. But like I said, it's different for everybody. Like some babies are a lot smaller, some are bigger, they grow faster, they grow slower. But I think just have a good range of like some newborn outfits, some 0 to 3 months, some 3 to 6. Like be prepared with like a decent amount, an even amount in each age group, instead of buying all stuff for when they're first born because they grow out of it so fast. So that was one thing that I noticed, like, okay, I needed more of that. Also, I completely underestimated how many diapers and wipes you need for a newborn. Like, completely underestimated. I thought we bought like 3 full boxes that has like 90 to 100 diapers in each. And I thought, oh my gosh, we'll be totally fine. This will last us all the way through the newborn phase. But no, we've ordered multiple shipments of more diapers and wipes. You go through them so quickly, and so just be prepared for that. That was something that I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this little girl is pooping and peeing that much, but they just do. They do it so much. I will say I was very, like, I wasn't expecting, I guess, most of like the nephews and nieces' diapers that I changed, they weren't really newborns, they were like a little bit older, and I was pleasantly surprised. Like, newborn poops aren't that bad. Like, they're pretty easy to clean. They don't smell as bad as you would think. So that was a bonus. Mama products that I feel like I underestimated that I needed more of and ended up ordering more of was nursing bras. So I honestly, before pregnancy, I wouldn't sleep in a bra. I honestly would wear like sports bras throughout the day, but sometimes I wouldn't even wear a bra during the day. And that's impossible when you're breastfeeding. If you're breastfeeding, you will be leaking milk. That is like a guarantee. You have to have a bra on 24/7. And I didn't want to sleep in like my actual bras or my sports bras because they're not very comfy. So I ended up ordering a ton of nursing bras. And also you need nipple pads, so like breast pads, because you will leak and you don't want to leak through all your bras. I remember the first night I didn't have any on and I went through like 3 bras. I had to wash my sheets like 5 times in the first week because you're just leaking, and so that's something that you need to be aware of. And also you need to get a lot of those. It's like diapers, you will go through a lot of breast pads. So that was something that I didn't realize. I am going to in the description below, I'm gonna link some links to all of these products. So I'll do like a baby products link, a mommy products link, and then maybe like some gadget links so that I can like let you know what I liked, because I didn't know, and I think it would have been super helpful for me to know that before having Sage, just because there was a lot of things that I needed within the first couple days that I didn't have. So I had Sam running to the grocery store for me. A couple other things. Everybody's different too, and I know a C-section is a little bit different than vaginal birth, but I needed a lot of pads, like panty liners, some disposable underwear just for the first couple weeks, because it's like, it's not fun to have to do laundry so many times, and you basically are ruining your underwear anyway. So yeah, panty liners, disposable underwear, breast pads. I feel like that was like the things that I found myself going like, oh crap, I gotta go get that. So I will link all of that below so you guys can go ahead and get, I'll link the ones that I enjoyed and that I used because I feel like they were really great for me. Sorry, that was a long-winded must-have baby products thing, but, oh, okay. Literally the most simple thing, but like has been the best for us, is a wipe warmer. So somebody told me about this and I was like, oh, that seems kind of unnecessary. Which is funny because a lot of things seem unnecessary, but this one to me, I was like, meh. But then I look it up on Amazon, it was like, I think I got one for like $20. It has been the best thing ever, because when you're changing your baby multiple times in the middle of the night and you wipe them with some cold wipes on their little bums, they do not like it. So having a wipe warmer, it's like, it seems really unnecessary and kind of dumb, but I'm not kidding. It's been one of the biggest, like, it's one of the best things that we've gotten. And it's also nice because then if you need to like wipe their face or anything, like, it's just warmer. It's not as shocking to them. They're not as mad when you're changing their diaper at night, because there's a couple times where the wipe warmer will run out and I need to refill it, and so I'll have to use cold wipes, and she's like, oh, she hates it. So that was like really a really cool thing for us. So that's the last one. Okay, let's go on. What breast pump do I use? So I started out using the free like Medela one that they get at the hospital, and that worked great. It definitely pumped. It did its job, and I loved it. The only thing is that it's like, sorry, and I don't mean to say it was free because it wasn't, but my insurance covered it. So check with your insurance. I know that most insurance will cover a breast pump. So I think it's different for everybody, but this is the one that my insurance covered. And I used that for a couple weeks and it was great. And the only thing that's hard is it's like you are hooked up to these like wires, it's plugged in, you're like have to be sitting and like You have to like make a thing out of it, but it worked great, so I can't complain. But I just recently got the Willow wearable breast pump, and that's been a game changer because I can be out and about doing my things, I can be filming videos, I can be changing Sage, carrying her, and I can be pumping. So it's definitely a lot more pricey, and I can't say it works any better than the breast pump, the Medela pump that I used, but it just is a little more easy to like do things throughout the day while pumping as well. So same, like it's gonna do the same thing, both of them are, but if you're someone that needs to like get back into work or be more mobile, I would definitely suggest the Willow wearable. Okay, this one says, having a C-section as well, any after surgery advice or care tips will help. So a lot of people have reached out about C-sections, first time C-section here, so this is what worked for me, but I'm sure a lot of people have different experiences. So one of the biggest things that I believe helped me a lot with my recovery was I got up and walked pretty immediately after having my C-section. So I had a spinal tap that wore off about 2-3 hours after Sage was delivered. Oh, what is that something? Sometimes when she's sleeping, she'll just make the saddest little face. I'm like, are you having a bad dream? Are you okay? And then she'll smile, and I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, so yeah, my nurses had me get up like as soon as I could feel my legs. They're like, we want you to just even try to stand up. So they got me up. I was connected to like my catheter. I had my IV in, everything. It was quite the ordeal, but I stood up. I stood for a second. I did like maybe like 5-ish minutes of just kind of slowly walking, like taking a couple steps forward, a couple steps back. Like it was definitely kind of shocking and gradual and a little bit scary at first because I was like, oh my goodness, am I ever gonna be able to walk? But getting up that first day was super beneficial. And then every day after that, just trying to get up at least every 3 hours, get up, walk to the bathroom. I mean, I was barely moving at all, not going very far, but just even like a little bit of activity was super beneficial because by the time it was time for me to go home, I only spent 2 nights in the hospital, which I was happy about because I heard that sometimes you stay like 4 to 6 days. So I only ended up staying 2 nights, and I think it's because I was moving and I was trying to like get my body ready to go home. So I was able to like walk myself to my car and oh hi, it's okay. But yeah, so that was really beneficial for me. And then I have some C-section scar products that I use. I have these like silicone sheets that I put on them, and also this cream, and then vitamin E oil capsules. So I will link all of those below because those were super beneficial. And I think the hardest part with the C-section is for the week after. For me, it was about a week after where getting in and out of bed was a little bit difficult because your abs have just been like totally disconnected. It's like they're disconnected from the control board. You have to kind of wake those back up. So sitting up and getting out of bed to get Sage every time she woke up was difficult for the first week. But what helped was having her bassinet really close to my bed, and also for the first couple days I would have Sam wake up, go grab her for me, bring her to me in bed. I'd feed her laying down in bed, which is actually a really good thing to do for a C-section because holding them and carrying them like on your belly is a little bit painful for a couple days. But I have to say, after a week, I feel like I was able to do things pretty normally. I was able to get in and out of bed, grab her out of her bassinet. I was able to feed her in this position, and it was okay. I did get a breastfeeding pillow, which was so beneficial. I think even if you didn't have a C-section, a breastfeeding pillow would be beneficial. So I'll link that below with all the mama products. But yeah, I think biggest tip I can give for C-section is be patient with yourself. Everybody's different, but try to get up and moving as soon as you can. It's gonna feel crazy. You might feel like, oh my gosh, my incision's gonna rip open. That's what a lot of people told me, but honestly, I stood up, I felt like I walked around, and it was great. And I think that was, I cater a lot, or I credit a lot of my like feeling now to being able to get up and move pretty soon after. So that's my biggest suggestion. Okay, what is the best belly cream to prevent stretch marks? So I was worried about stretch marks. I think everybody is, and obviously like I was gonna be okay with anything. It was, no matter what, it's worth it to have the little Sagey, but that was something that, I mean, you want to try to avoid if you can, and I was very open-minded. I tried all the products that I liked, and I was open-minded knowing like, okay, this might work, this might not, but what I found that worked for me was a little combo, like a little duo that I put together. I do it every morning and night. It was the bio oil, stretch mark oil, and then I'd mix that with Earth Mama belly butter. Sorry, I forgot what it was called for a second. But yeah, so I'd put on the the bio oil, and then I'd put on the Earth Mama belly butter every single night. I'd double up and I'd lather. And I kind of hated putting on like lotion and oils before, but it feels good because your skin gets itchy when you're pregnant, and it's like, it's getting so stretched out. So I'd put that on my boobs, my stomach, and my butt every single morning and night. Basically, anytime I was getting dressed, I would just put it on. So that worked for me. I ended up not having any stretch marks. I'm very grateful for that. My mom had stretch marks, so I was prepared for that because we have similar skin types, but I think that that definitely helped. Also though, I do think like, I don't want to say that it's 100% because everybody is different. So this is what worked for me, and yeah, that's kind of what worked for me for stretch marks. Okay. So someone said, did the epidural hurt? I'm so nervous. So I didn't get an epidural, but I got a spinal tap. I'm pretty sure it's very similar in pain. And I have to say, I was so nervous about that because I'm a huge baby with shots. But I think because of the excitement and the adrenaline of knowing like what was about to happen, it was honestly not bad. So don't be too scared for that. And like, it's such a quick, like even if it is super painful, it's so quick, and then you don't feel anything. So don't be nervous for it. I was very nervous. But yeah, don't be too nervous for it. Okay, then on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did the C-section hurt? So I didn't feel a thing. I got my spinal tap, I was completely numb. I will say the only thing that I felt was like a little bit of pressure when they were pushing on Sage to get her out, and then I could kind of sense like, not relief, but just like, I could sense that she was out. So as soon as they pulled her out, I could sense it, but it's not like I felt like anything. So don't be nervous if you're having a C-section. I like would go to sleep at night kind of like having little mini panic attacks of like, oh my gosh, they're gonna be cutting my stomach open. This is terrifying. But I didn't feel anything. They did a great job. And so don't let that freak you out. Okay. How many hours a night is Sage sleeping? So it's different every single night. We are still getting on a schedule, and yeah, it's definitely it's different. The longest chunk of time she'll sleep is about 4.5, 5 hours, and then the shortest is like 2.5. So it kind of is like, so far her schedule has been like, we put her to bed, we actually put her in her room down to sleep in her bassinet at 11. She wakes up about 3:34, and then again at like 7, and then she sleeps until about 10:30. So that's kind of the schedule right now, but it's different every night. Some nights are really awesome, some nights are rough, and you just never really know what to expect. But I'm happy because she's a pretty good baby. Like, she wakes up because she's hungry or because she's poopy or has peed or something, and I resolve those things and she goes back to sleep. So I'm very grateful for that. Okay. How is your C-section scar healing? It's great. Honestly, I was my doctor did a great job. Honestly, I'm so happy that he did the funny thing is I had never met the doctor who did my C-section because I went into labor in the middle of the night. He was the doctor on call. There was no time to wait to like try to get anybody else. So I'd never met him before, but funny enough, I actually went to high school with his son. So he's like, you probably know my son. And me and Sam were like, yes, we totally know him. So he did a great job. I was super happy with that. And it's super tiny, very low. It's still pretty dark colored, but I've heard that it lightens up a lot. But I mean, honestly, it's so low. Like even in my skimpiest bikini, I tried it on. Even in like my smallest bikini, you can't see it. So I'm very happy about that. I wouldn't have cared if you could notice it, but it is nice that it's very discreet. This one says, where does Sage sleep? Best bassinet. So she, for the first like up until about, yeah, she slept in our room for 6 weeks in the Halo bassinet. We love this because it has a newborn insert that like kind of keeps them snug so they can't roll around. They can't like roll to their stomach or anything, and that's been really great for us. I'll link that below. But we just recently moved her to her nursery. She's still in her bassinet, but she's in her nursery, and that's been a transition that was really rough for me and hard because I just loved having her next to me. But it's been good because I feel like I was waking up to every little peep that she made, and now I wake up when she needs to be fed, not just when she's kind of doing her little grunts, because she's actually a pretty loud sleeper. Like she'll just grunt and make noises throughout the night and be totally asleep. So that's been really good for us. Okay. How is breastfeeding for you? Did you have any pain? I don't anymore. My nipples have finally calloused up and everything's good, but it was extremely painful for the first couple weeks. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. And some people don't have this, but it was very painful for me. My nipples literally felt like they were going to fall off, just cracked, bleeding, very painful. And when my milk was coming in and like when I would let down, it was super like, it took a while for my boobs, for my body to regulate how much milk that it needed to make. But now we're doing great. I don't even feel anything. Sage latched really well right away, which I was very happy about. So no pain with like struggle to breastfeed. It's just, it's hard. Oh, hi. Hi. Oh. See those noises? Those are the kind of noises she makes in the night, but she's still fast asleep. But yeah, so it definitely hurts. Get some nipple creams and just know that stick it out, it will get better. Like I was kind of in this mindset of like, am I ever going to be able to feed her and not feel like I'm in the most pain of my life? But it does get better, I promise. How long will you breastfeed? This is kind of a personal question, but I think it's good to address. I am very grateful that I still have a pretty good milk supply. My mom ran out of her milk supply about 3 months with all of us. So she ended up having to supplement with formula, which I'm not opposed to doing. I'm kind of just going to take this journey 1 week at a time. So far, I still have a great milk supply and I love feeding Sage. It makes me so happy. She takes a bottle so I can pump and feed her with a bottle if I need to, like, if Sam wants to feed her for one of the feedings at night. But I'm just gonna take this week by week, and I think it's really important that people understand that whatever you have to do, it's okay. It's hard to be a mom. It's hard to take care of a baby, and don't beat yourself up if breastfeeding is hard or if it's not working for you and you have to switch to formula. Like, I just think it's super important that we just like support everybody in whatever decisions they make with their own child, because it is their child. And that brings me to, I think, honestly, the last thing I'm gonna end on. So I'm very, very used to being scrutinized on social media. I mean, my entire life, not my entire life, but ever since I've kind of become more of like a person in the spotlight and I have people who follow me, I have gotten scrutinized always about every little thing that I do, and I've gotten very used to it. I've gotten a tough head, and I'm kind of just like, I can brush it off very easily, but I just want to address mom shaming, because it's one thing to just like, you know, to just like be like, oh, I don't like that outfit you're wearing, or oh, your hair looks bad there, oh, you don't look good. That's one thing, whatever. But mom shaming is something that is like completely unacceptable, and I have seen it tenfold since having Sage. I mean, literally every day I get multiple DMs of people just commenting on my parenting style, or saying that I'm doing things wrong, or that I shouldn't be doing that, or I can't believe you're posting so much about your baby, and just a lot of things. And honestly, I have to say, like, I brush it off. It's okay. I'm not offended. I'm not gonna let it hurt me. I know that I'm doing the best that I can, and people are always gonna have their opinions, but there's a lot of people out there who can't deal with criticism the same way. And I just think that everybody needs to understand that being a mom is very hard. And no matter what your situation is, nobody else should feel like they can comment on that or tell you what you should be doing or tell you you're doing something wrong. And I just really want to emphasize that, because I have seen so much of it and it hurts my heart. It really, really does. I don't understand why anybody would feel the need to say anything negative to somebody, especially people that you don't even know. So if you're thinking about commenting on somebody else's Instagram pictures, or even people that you know, and trying to like make them feel bad or feel less than, please just don't. Like, just put yourself in their position and understand that everybody's just doing the best they can, and that a mom is like, nobody knows what's better for their baby than a mom does. So don't try to act like you know better than somebody's mom does. And also understand that every mom is just doing their best, and sometimes maybe we do fall short, and sometimes I know sometimes I'm not doing everything right, but I'm figuring it out, and I love my little Sage with all of my heart, and I'm gonna do everything I can to be the best mom to her. So I just encourage you all to be cautious and conscious about what you're saying to people, whether they're a mom or just someone else. Like, be nice. Just be considerate of the way that the things that you say are going to make others feel, because I've seen a lot of mom shaming with me personally, and I'm sure it goes on all the time. So just be aware, and please try to not do that. And if you're a mom, know that you're a freaking rock star. You had a baby, you brought life into this world, you are incredible. Whatever you need to do to take care of your baby and whatever you feel is best is important. To just know that you know best for your child. So yes, that is my thing. Okay, maybe I'll do one more question and then we'll end. Fave thing about having Sage with you and what has changed due to Sage. So honestly, everything about my life has changed. Every single thing. My whole day is revolved around this beautiful little angel, and everything I do, everything that I want to do, it's for her. And I think that's the most special thing about having a baby, especially like Sam and I have been married for about 5.5 years, and now we get to care for and love this little child that is ours, that we made together. And everything that we do is for her now. All of our any work that we do, any dreams that we have, or like things that we do to work on our marriage. Like, those are all so that we can be better parents for Sage, and I love that. It has given our life a whole new meaning, and it's the best thing in the whole entire world. So if you're thinking about having kids, or if you're pregnant, just know that like they will rock your world. Like, everything will change, but it'll be so incredible and so worth it. So yeah, well guys, I hope you enjoyed this little Q&A. I know I probably didn't touch on like a lot of things, and we'll have to do this again. Like I said, I'm still learning every single day, and if you're a new mom, just love yourself and know that you are incredible. It can be so tough at times, but don't be too hard on yourself, and know that like you're a freaking rock star. So that's all I got. Sage slept through this whole thing. She's a little baby girl. I love her, little baby angel. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, like I said, in the description, I'm gonna leave links to all the products that I talked about, things that I've loved, and like, I'm being serious, you guys. I'm leaving links that I actually use and I love. I'm not trying to like do anything crazy. A lot of people are like, why are you trying to promote so many things? I promise you with all my heart, and this has been something that's very, very important to me. I understand that I am an influencer per se, that people follow me and they see what I post about and what I'm using, and I promised myself that I would never promote or talk or share something with you guys unless I genuinely believe in it, unless I use it, or if I feel that it's been beneficial to me. So I know it can be a lot, and I understand that it can be annoying to see ads, and none of the things that I'm posting about in this description are an ad, and I understand that I do ads, but I just want you to know that like I've made it my goal, and like I promise you and promise all of my followers that I will never share something with you unless I truly believe in it, unless I've actually tried it, used it, feel like it's beneficial. So yes, check out the description below. I'll leave some things that I've loved to use and have, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks guys, bye.